The story of Alcar is one which has deep roots ingrained in the best of Italy, that which invents and innovates. Alcar is the result of the fusion between CTM, Costruzioni Termomeccaniche Meridionali, with Alcar S.p.A. of Valle in 2005. Two companies who have always associated their name with mechanics and light, medium and heavy mechanical and metalwork fabrication. CTM has manufactured conveyor belts, cranes and special machines for processing tobacco and the collection of olives in Puglia since 1960, over time becoming one of the main suppliers of Fiat Alice, today's CNH. Alcar S.p.A. belonged to the Bruneri family, a family which eternally linked its name with the world of earth-moving machinery. It was the Bruneri brothers who invented the first fully hydraulic excavator in the world in 1930. Today, Alcar has become one of the European leaders in mechanical and metalwork fabrication for construction site machines. This is the only company in Europe which has a complete internal production cycle. In this manner, any component can be designed and realized independently for our clients. But let us proceed in order. Today, Alcar has two plants, one in Valle, in the province of Turin, which manufactures the light mechanical and metalwork fabrication, and one in Lecce, which is for medium to heavy mechanical and metalwork fabrication. The internal management of all of the productive processes, together with the ability to design each component and each processing cycle, has created a smooth circle. On this path of continuous improvement, the increasing expectations of the clients, who are leaders in their own sectors, meet a continued and positive response. Today, Alcar counts CNH, Fiat Group, Caterpillar, Liebherr, Olot, Turk Tractor and Sampierana amongst its clients. In today's markets, which are always challenging and dynamic, Alcar has demonstrated that it knows how to start and above all modulate new productions thanks to a continued interaction between its design department and that of its clients, creating co-design and co-engineering activities. It often occurs during the research and development activity that Alcar not only flanks but substitutes its client, releasing them from burdensome and complex activities. The possibility of internally managing each work cycle allows the production times and costs that are positively influenced, simultaneously increasing the level of quality of the finished product. The Six Sigma methodology is constantly applied in Alcar and guarantees excellence in service from the point of view of continued optimization. The core business of the company is supplying clients with the finished component, painted, ready for assembly on their lines. The level of enrichment and the component service connected to the products which exit the Alcar plants on a daily basis have reached heights which were at one time unthinkable. The technology present in both plants is mutually integrated. Today, Alcar is the only European company able to supply mechanical and metalwork fabrication components which range from the structural to the mechanical and metalwork fabrication bodywork and tanks. Let us look at all of the productive processes in detail. Defined as the production cycle, the process starts with the preparatory phases of the raw material. This is followed by the cutting of the plates, which, depending on the thickness and the characteristics of the product requested, is carried out using different types of technology: 2- and 3D laser, flame cutting, plasma. This is followed by bending phases, which may be robotized, and the stamping phase carried out with presses which reach 800 tons. The component is welded manually as well as with modern robots. At this point, the machining process, or the phosphating, occurs, if foreseen by the manufacturing cycle. In specific cases, such as tanks or bodywork, cleaning, painting and enrichment are foreseen. Once the productive cycle has been completed, a rigid testing and commissioning procedure begins, which guarantees and confirms the made in Alcar quality for the client. Let us look at each phase individually. The client is supported and assisted during the most delicate part of the design phase, such as the realization and the engineering of new products or the improvement of existing products in order to optimize both the service and aesthetic level of the product as well as its cost. The project passes through the FEM structural analysis, the dynamic multi-body or fluid dynamic systems, to arrive at the 3D modeling which are specified in the realization of the executive table. The first phase of the productive process is the cutting of the sheet. Alcar has employed the bidimensional and tridimensional laser cutting technology since the beginning of the 1990s. Beyond the laser technology, the company also has flame cutting and plasma systems in order to optimize each individual productive request. The laser cutting system is employed for thicknesses up to 25 millimeters, with bench lengths of 3 meters by 1.5 up to 16 meters by 4. The thermal cutting system is employed for thicknesses of 20 to 120 millimeters for a maximum size of 3 meters by 12. The presence of a plasma torch, which works in combination, increases the flexibility of this system. Once cut, the plate is bent following a number of preparatory phases, if foreseen, such as burring, beveling and puncturing. Alcar employs presses which reach up to 800 tons with a maximum bending length of up to 6 meters. The use of robotized systems for the automation of the bend, with a capacity of between 120 and 250 kilograms and the control of the relative angle, significantly increases the efficiency of this process phase. The component welding phase starts after the bending. Here, one of the most delicate phases is carried out in the specific departments. The technology used is MIG-MAG arc welding with continuous wire welding. Alcar has approximately 50 robotized systems which allow it to reach elevated levels of productive capacity. Each robotized island has a seam finder and seam tracking system with both a technological laser and electric impulses. The robots are flanked with over 200 manual stations in which specialized welders work, all of whom possess the necessary UNI-EN ISO 287 certification. The machining process department, concentrated in the plant in Lecce, allows a highly varied range of operations to be carried out. The machine park is composed of CNC turning, boring and milling machine high-speed work centers. The sealing tests and phosphating tests are carried out after the above-mentioned phases, depending on the production of the tanks. Both are carried out through independent immersion systems that guarantee excellent quality results. Following on from the productive process, the light mechanical and metalwork fabrication components then continue with the cleaning process to guarantee the absence of aesthetic defects on the surface to be painted. When these various processing phases are completed, the light or medium-heavy mechanical and metalwork fabrication is ready to be painted. Alcar has 3 painting plants, of which 2 are in Lecce and 1 in Valle. In Lecce, the presence of a large liquid painting system, which is able to handle pieces up to 6 tons in weight, allows an elevated standard to be produced in respect to the environment. This objective is reached by employing technology which is able to use water-based paint. The second system in the plant in Lecce is characterized by a Birotaya Morris conveyor belt with a capacity of 750 kilograms and able to work on pieces which are up to a length of 6 meters. Metallic blasting, hydrosoluble base application cabin with drying and powder application oven with relative drying oven are the technological characteristics. In Valle, given the different types of products built, a sophisticated system with an overhead box conveyor, automatic loading and unloading cell, pre-treatment tunnel through phosphor degreasing, primer application cabin, 3 powder cabins, of which 2 are automated, and the relative drying and flash-off ovens has been installed. Once the painting phase is completed, and only after the conformity controls have been passed, the component is enriched and packed. Alcar has areas which are customized and reserved for each client. In this manner, it is able to guarantee a quality standard of excellence. Specific tests employing hydraulic components are carried out on products to simulate the same conditions as their final use before shipping, reproducing the strain and the stress to which the component will be subjected during the normal life cycle. This is the manner in which the operating quality of the product is guaranteed. Alcar works in a number of different sectors: earth-moving machines, agricultural machines, lifting systems. The range of products is also complete and includes light structural work to medium-heavy structural. In the medium-heavy sector, Alcar currently produces the loading arm, the digging arm, the frame and the bucket of the backhoe loader, the telescopic arm of the telehandler, the pushing arm of the bulldozers, the frame of the paver, the loading arm of the agricultural tractor, the frame of the mini excavators. The main light mechanical and metalwork fabrication products are represented by bodywork kits and by tank, oil and gas oil kits for machines such as backhoe loaders, large wheeled and crawler excavators, wheel and crawler loaders, and pavers. Alcar. How to get from a simple idea to a finished component without having to think about it.